Hello and welcome to another Betfred Sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Now, we're going to start with a bit of a different angle today. We've got some politics news. Obviously, Boris Johnson has resigned as the Conservative leader. Peter, a massive issue this one politically. We now know that Ben Wallace, the MP for Preston, he's the front runner to take over as leader. Can you tell us a bit about his background?
Yeah, well, I've done some research on him. He's a big horse racing fan. He's into skiing. In fact, he was a ski instructor before he went to Sandhurst. Captain in the Scots Guards, and he's now the Defence Secretary. And some people will say that he's done some fantastic work helping Britain's response to the Russians' invasion of Ukraine. I mean, I've got to say that Boris Johnson as well has been at the forefront of that. Some people will say he's led the way for the free world. Wow. And some of the criticism now for the way that he's been disposed of is beyond the pale in some people's eyes. However, it has started off a huge race now to take over as the Tory leader. As you say, Ben Wallace now 3-1 with Betfred to take over. Rishi Sunak, the ex-Chancellor, he's 5-1. He was the outright evens at one point, but because of he's been tarnished about the cost of living crisis and also the tax status of his wife. Penny Mordaunt, she's like keeping a bit of a low profile at the moment. She's not actually emerged as a candidate as we speak, but she's 6-1. Tom Tugendhat, by contrast, he's another ex-military man. He has come out and said he's going to go for it. He's 13-2. Liz Truss, Foreign Secretary, she's 10-1. Javid, he's 12-1. Jeremy Hunt, who was right in there previously, but has not been part of this government, he's 14-1. And Suella Braverman, the Attorney General, she's a 40-1 shot. She's the first person to declare an interest in running. But basically we've got a market here for 30 odd people. Yeah. Rory Stewart, for instance, he's 500-1. Nigel Farage 500-1. But David Cameron 500-1. Matt Hancock 200-1. But the bottom line is that there's lots and lots of money going on Ben Wallace. So if money's talking, and it often does at Betfred, then Ben Wallace is the one to get on. He is 3-1 now. About £5,000 was wagered in London and also throughout Lancashire, near his constituency, no doubt, within a couple of hours of him. Boris deciding that his time was up at number 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you do fancy Ben Wallace to become the next Conservative leader, his odds have now been slashed from 8-1 to 3-1, and as Peter just said then, £5,000 has already been wagered on him to become the next Conservative leader. Well, we're going to move into some Wimbledon news now because it is the semi-final taking place today. It's Novak Djokovic taking on Cameron Norrie. Unfortunately for Rafa Nadal, he's had to pull out of the competition due to stomach pains, but Peter, this semi-final, it's got the ingredients to be a cracker.
Yeah, well, it most certainly has. We've got Djokovic 1-4, so his odds on at Betfred to become the Wimbledon champion again. Kyrgios, who's now through to the final because of the Nadal pulling out. And then we've got Norrie, he's the outsider, 25-1. He has got it all to do, basically. He's got to win two. He's got to beat two top-notch players, one from Serbia, one from Australia, in the next few days to achieve it. So that's why he's 25-1. He was 100-1, and we have had a few people who were on at 100-1 right at the beginning. No doubt friends of him who knew what good form he was. Yeah. That was pre-tournament, and that has affected the Sports Personality of the Year award odds because if Norrie should actually win at Wimbledon and become the men's champion, well, he'll go right in as the Sports Personality of the Year favourite because tennis appeals to both men and women. Yeah. But at the moment he's 16-1. Even a semi-final place will get him amongst the favourites, I would suggest. So Ronnie O'Sullivan's still a favourite, 3-1 with Betfred. Harry Kane 9-1. People hanging on, thinking that England are going to do something in the World Cup. Tyson Fury 10-1, and then we've got Norris 16-1. And we've got two cricketers now emerging, 25-1 shots, Johnny Bairstow and Joe Roots, both 25-1 after their supreme red ball performances for England, dragging us back into the Test arena as amongst the favourites now with the Bazball phenomena.
Yeah, there you go then. So just to recap for Wimbledon, it is a semi-final taking place today. We've got Novak Djokovic taking on Cameron Norrie, and as Peter just said then, that has had major changes for the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Cameron Norrie now priced at 16-1. Well, we're going to move into some Betfred Super League news now, because it is the Magic Weekend taking place at Newcastle United's St James's Park. As we said on Monday Sports Talk, always a key day on the Rugby League calendar, and Peter, there's some fantastic fixtures taking place on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sure that when they sort out the fixtures, they do pitch the top teams against each other. For instance, on Saturday it's St Helens against Wigan. I mean, that'll be a massive arm wrestle whenever those two play against each other. And then on Sunday we've got the in-form Salford Red Devils going for a third win on the bounce. They're against Huddersfield, who are also on the fringes of getting a top 6 finish. I was at the game when Warrington played against Salford, and frankly I just couldn't believe how Warrington capitulated, allowing Salford to come back into it and achieve a tremendous victory. Got a lot of hard work to do there, Darryl Powell, to get that team back winning again. They're third from bottom in the Betfred Super League table now, and they've got a really, really tough game against Catalans on Sunday as well. So they've got a really tough game.
Yeah, they certainly have. Well, yeah, they certainly have. And if you do fancy a punt on the Magic Weekend, you can find all the latest odds and the markets on betfred.com, but you can also go into the stores because they're open right now. Well, if you fancy a bit of darts, you like a bit of darts, this is the place to be, because the Tameside Reporter and Glossop Chronicle have 7 pairs of tickets for the Betfred World Match Play Darts Championships taking place in Blackpool. And to win those tickets, further details will be uploaded to questmedianetwork.co.uk and the Tameside Reporter and Glossop Chronicle next Thursday. Well, just finally, we're going to take a look at the Women's European Championship. That kicked off on Wednesday night, and of course England, the Lionesses, beating Austria 1-0 in front of 69,000 fans at Old Trafford. Peter, a great way to start for the Lionesses, and they are now priced at 7-2 to win the tournament outright.
Yeah, it was kind of an expected result. I thought they would have done slightly better than 1-0, but it just shows how women's football has progressed, and the crowd was fantastic. And maybe there's a lesson there for us guys when we go to football. It doesn't have to be so confrontational. You can enjoy yourself with your family and enjoy the game, just like they do at those women's matches. Yeah,
absolutely, paving the way for the next generation. And just looking ahead to Monday night, that's when England next play. That's at Brighton's Amex Stadium. England taking on Norway. Currently, the odds look something like this: England are 4-6 to win. The draw's 11-4, and for Norway to pick up the 3 points, they are priced at 18-5. And I actually went down to an event at Curzon Ashton's Tameside Stadium on Thursday afternoon, because there were some Lionesses scouts on hand there. They were looking for the future of England women's team, and this is what Tameside School Sports Partnerships Emma Toon had to say about the event on Thursday afternoon.
The FA came towards us and asked us whether we wanted to host this talent event, and we said yes, of course. As in Tameside, we try and push every girl to their potential, and what this is trying to find the next Lioness. So we planned it for the day after the opening ceremony at the Euros, thinking that we'd be inspired there, and it's worked really well. We've got over 100 girls from across Greater Manchester schools. They've all been nominated. It's a 3v3 tournament, so lots of skills on the ball, and we have got the FA talent scouts for England here watching the girls, and they've actually picked a few up, which is really exciting for us.
Well, you can watch our full video on our website, questmedianetwork.co.uk. So just to recap, this weekend, it's the Magic Weekend, the Betfred Super League at St James's Park in Newcastle. And of course, there's loads of other sports taking place. And if you do fancy a punt on any of the fixtures, Betfred stores are now open, but you can also bet online via their app.